My name is Emmanuel Quinlivan. I work in University College Cork in Ireland, and I am one of the organisers for this event on Europe Week. You hopefully celebrated Europe Day on, oh, you can't hear me. Somebody said you can't hear me. I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Emmanuel.
Το μικρόφωνο μας, γιατί?
So can you please...
Παιδιά, μπορώ να πατήσω κάτι εδώ, γιατί λέει...
Can you please just mute yourselves? And so sorry, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm one of the organisers of this event. Hopefully on Monday you celebrated Europe Day on the 9th of May. This is a celebration we have every year to celebrate the club, and some still can't hear. Can you please just mute? Okay.
I have it.
Okay. We're going to get there. So very importantly, can you please all mute yourselves? We have currently 210 schools from all across Europe who have joined this very special Zoom meeting to exchange with President Roberta Metsola, who is the President of the European Parliament. So you can imagine how 210 schools with, you know, about 25 children in each group, how noisy that can be. So please, for now, just stay on mute. I would also like to ask the schools or the classes who have students asking questions to the President to rename themselves according to their question number. It will make it so much easier for us to find you then, you know, when it's your turn to ask a question. So please rename yourselves. This is the final event as well for an e-twinning project that we ran. I'm going to introduce you to my two co-hosts, Georgia Manetta from Greece, who I'm going to spotlight here. So Georgia Manetta here from Greece, who co-created the e-twinning project with me and is co-hosting this event, and Philip Murphy, who I have lost.
Morning.
Yeah, I don't know where you are, but Philip Murphy, who is also going to co-host this event and will help us in particular, thank you, Philip, in particular with the Europe Day Zoom quiz that we're going to play afterwards. So the President is a little bit late. She's coming from another meeting. As you can imagine, the President of the European Parliament is extremely busy. So she's coming from another meeting. It's going to take a little bit of time. Let me just maybe say a few words about the President of the European Parliament. So as you know, she is called Roberta Metsola. She has been a member of the European Parliament for Malta and Gozo since 2013. And so it's really only her second time being elected to the European Parliament. And she has already been elected President of the European Parliament there during her second mandate. She's only the third woman since 1979 to get to this position. She's a qualified lawyer. And she keeps a very busy schedule, as we can see, because she has several meetings. So she keeps a very busy schedule with all her work as President of the European Parliament, as well as being the mother of 4 boys. So hopefully the President is going to join us in a few minutes. We're just going to just give it a few minutes, and hopefully those who have technical difficulties can resolve them. I know there seem to be a few audio difficulties. and the president will get in touch very soon.
Have they all renamed the questions? Have they all renamed themselves? Do we have all the questions here?
We
check.
We have question. No, we have 10, 11, 2, 3. We have question 3. Great. So just in case, Avril Graham and Ellen O'Regan, as well as Margaret Duffy, if you are on the call, can you rename yourselves according to your question number?
And the teacher from Asturias.
Oh yes, and the teacher from Asturias, Belle. If you're on the call, Belle, can you rename yourself? Oh, okay, thanks, Margaret. Thank you. It's been...
There are still joining schools. I'm admitting them all. Unmute, Manuel.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
is what I said. But yes.
Okay.
Emmanuel,
Yes.
is Scolbara Ballincollig?
Yes.
That's question 6, so Grant, there, I'll change.
And hello, we're delighted.
She's on mute. She can speak. She's on mute.
Yeah, just, oh, yes. Hello, you are very welcome, President Metsola. We can hear you, yes, I think.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to have you joining us. I just gave the few words of introduction just before you joined, because obviously you were very busy with a previous engagement and a meeting. So if you don't mind, we're going to go straight into questions from the children.
Of course.
Yes, great. So can I call on Eleni from primary school Milion Kalon Neron in Greece to come and ask you her first question on behalf of her class.
Good morning, Miss Metsola. I'm Eleni from Greece. This is my question. How is it decided who is the President of the European Parliament?
Thank you, Eleni. Kalimera. So first thing I would say is that there are 705 members of the European Parliament. And between them, they decide to vote every 2.5 years for their president. Those 705 members are elected by European citizens. So in Greece, you have members of the European Parliament who your parents, your families, your friends who are a little bit older than you vote. And then those members get to choose on what kind of laws that apply to you, but to reply to your question on who will be the president. And as I said, it's every 2.5 years, and I was elected to occupy this position. It's a great privilege for me last January 18th.
That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks, Eleni. So now I'm going to ask Danielle to come forward and ask a question on behalf of his school, primary school Brniški in Slovenia.
Hello, my name is Daniel, and my question is, what's your favorite thing in your job?
Can you repeat that? What's my what?
What's your favorite thing in your job?
My favorite thing. First of all, discussions like this, talks like this are my favorite thing. But as I said before, the president is elected from colleagues from 27 member states, so including your Slovenia, including Greece, as we've just seen. We are elected directly, so citizens elect members of the European Parliament by people like you. So my favorite thing is to be able to talk to citizens. I travel quite a lot. I was in Italy last week. On Monday I was in France. Yesterday I was in Luxembourg. All those countries. I was already in Ljubljana a couple of maybe 5 weeks ago, where I spoke to students and I discussed with them and listened to them, students like from your age as well, as to what you want from the European Union and what you'd like the European Union to do. We vote on everything, whether it is on climate, on environmental issues, on migration, on education, on culture, on travel, on how you move from one country to another. So it is these meetings, such as the one that I'm having with you, where I'm able to hear about your priorities and what you'd like to see from Europe that we all belong to.
And isn't that absolutely essential? Thanks a million for that, Daniel. Now we have Lucy Venton from Kilishandra National School, who's going to ask a question on behalf of her school.
Can you tell me the question, please, Emmanuel?
Question 3.
Oh, now it's question 3. Okay, yes. Thank you.
Good morning from Kilishandra National School in County Cavan in Ireland. We've just heard your favourite thing to do as president. We were wondering, what is the worst part of your job?
The worst part of my job, I know, or at least maybe I didn't know what I was signing up for when I got elected. As you know, there is a war on our continent today, and that is something that I thought we would never have to see or need to see on Europe. So that is occupying quite a lot of our time. But what I knew when I got elected is that I was signing up for a job that would give me a responsibility to deliver on behalf of all my colleagues, 704 of them, on all laws, on all positions, and all decisions that matter to you, to your generation, to children younger than you, to children older than you. Perhaps the one thing that I would say is that I wish that I could spend a little bit more time with my family. I have 4 boys, age 15, 14, 10, and 5. But they are aware of the job that I have, and the little time I get to spend with them, I try to let's say take as much advantage of it as much as possible.
That's great, thank you. And we can understand the difficulties of juggling professional life with family life. I'm not sure actually Principe de Asturias School was able to join us today. Belle, are you here? If not, then can I call on Pelletstown Educate Together National School, and Freya Cummings has a question for you.
Hi, Ms. Metsola.
Please call me Roberta.
I was wondering, what did you study at university, and who or what inspired you to become president of the European Parliament?
So at university, I studied law, quite boring and quite sort of usual thing that people do. So I'm always very, very happy when I meet politicians or representatives who did not study law and actually jumped into this very interesting life from another, let's say, educational background. But I studied law because I loved Europe. And I wanted to study European law. I wanted to get a first-hand experience. So I moved to Belgium after I became a lawyer to continue studying. There is an excellent school called College of Europe that trains lawyers and people who are interested in European Union issues in order to become more acquainted. Who inspired me? Of course, I would say my parents. But also my grandparents. I was brought up with the mantra that if you work hard enough and if you believe in something enough and if you want it enough and you're ready to climb that mountain, then nothing can hold you back, whether it is your gender or your background or which country you come from. So it is those words and that mantra that inspires me today.
That's great. Thank you very much. Do we have Scoil Bara online? And Scoil Bara is going to have Greta Milkontete ask a question on behalf of her class. Will I ask the question on behalf of Scoil Bara? Okay, the question was, why did you want to start working for the European Parliament?
Well, I remember the day that my country, Malta, became a member of the European Union 18 years ago, so before you were born, but not so long ago. We counted, I remember, the seconds down to midnight before we became a member, and you could really, the whole country was outside waiting, watching the fireworks, everybody just excited about the fact that our country was joining the European Union. It was immediately then that I was asked to run for the European Parliament as a candidate. That was already 13 years ago. But the reason why I did it is because I really and truly believed in the European project, in a union that will work for every citizen in Europe, but also for people beyond our boundaries, as we are seeing today, in order to make people who look to Europe as their home, because we share the same values, the same ideas, the same wishes, and how we want to make people's lives better. So that's why I wanted to run. I did not make it the first time, but I made it later, and here I am.
And that links in with keeping nothing to hold you back, or leaving nothing to hold you back, which is great. The next question, if St. Coleman's Boys National School is online, can you unmute? If not, I will ask you the question, because it is our one question about Ukraine, and I know that a lot of you have put questions about Ukraine, a variety of them.
Hi there. Yeah, we're here.
You're here, lovely. That's great. Thank you very much. So we have, I'm sorry, we have Gavin. Yes, yeah. Gavin. Okay, go ahead, Gavin. You have the floor with Roberta.
How is war in Ukraine affecting your job?
Thanks, Gavin, for this question. As I said a little bit before, the war in Ukraine is an illegal and appalling atrocity for everyone, especially, however, for Ukrainian citizens and people who live in the countries that are neighbors with Ukraine. And that is why that we immediately took action and sent humanitarian aid, which ranged also from foodstuffs to medicine, medical equipment, and protective equipment for people who are trying to flee. And all those who are suffering, while at the same time, we wanted to send the strongest message to Russia with harsh sanctions towards the aggressor, Vladimir Putin. The reason why we did that, and as I said before, I never thought we would be in a position where we need to do that, is because this is a person who has decided that a country should not exist, and that a country doesn't need to defend itself and should just give itself up. So imagine if that happened to your countries, and the need that you would ask for help from other countries and from the EU. And that's what the European Union and our allies, including the United States, the United Kingdom, have done. This war also required me to go to Kiev on the 1st of April. Kiev is the capital city of Ukraine. One thing I did before I left there, when I met with the president and the different elected representatives, is that I want to make sure that when the war is over, I will take my children to Ukraine, to Kiev, to see such a beautiful capital city of such a brave country that is fighting for all the values and principles that I mentioned earlier as being completely the same as for us.
Great, fantastic words. Thank you very much, President. Okay, now we have question number 8 from Matthew, and it's going to bring us maybe a little bit to what you outlined at the start. Do you have Matthew online?
Yeah.
Yes?
What decisions?
Georgia, can you spotlight?
Emmanuel, I can't seem to be able to. Oh, okay. But I can't spotlight you now. And
it doesn't matter.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, give me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What decisions does the European Parliament make?
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
What decisions does the European Parliament make?
Thanks a lot. Are you Matthew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Matthew. So what we call the European Parliament a co-legislator. Now that it's a big fuddy-duddy word, but it is something that means that we make laws together with governments. So if you are you in Ireland, Matthew? Are you Irish? Yeah. Yes. So today, for example, you could have a minister from your government that travels to Brussels, meets the ministers from all 27 countries, members of the European Union. They get together around the table and they say, look, we have a decision as to whether we need to invest more in renewable energy resources. You know, how are we going to make sure that we use wind and sun to make our energy bills go down, to make sure that we don't rely on dirty fuels like coal to basically heat up our houses or cool them down in the summer, perhaps not so much in Ireland, but in other countries. And there, together with those 27 ministers, there will be on the same table the Parliament, which is the institution that I represent, that I was elected to lead, which makes the same decision, exactly the same, on solar energy or wind energy, on the same law. We come together, we make an agreement. Sometimes we're really far away. Sometimes the Parliament thinks that we need to go further. We are much more ambitious. We know that climate is at the moment, when we're talking about our environmental ambitions, it's not only about the environment but also about security. You might have heard at home discussions or on TV or on where you get your information from, or your teachers might have told you that, I cannot say social media because I think you're younger than 13 and you're not allowed to be on social media, but that my children don't like it when I say that. But yes, is that if you listen to the news in the evening, when you wake up on your way to school, you will hear, look, we have a problem. We rely too much on fossil fuels, on coal, on oil, on gas from countries like Russia, and we need to make our own energy. And that's what we decide to hear. We are legislators on the same issues, and we make laws. Other issues, of course, how you can travel to other countries and get money to study in those other countries. We also decide how the European Union spends its money, and to make sure that everyone else does their job and not spend money that your parents, your grandparents, your family is at the moment working very hard to pay the bills. But we actually represent that institution that is very careful as to how the EU's money is spent, where it goes, to make sure that it really results in making people's lives, including your own, better.
Lovely, thank you very much. And you'll see, Matthew, if you study the European Union, the European Parliament is usually brave in its decisions. Now we have question 9 from Jack McNally in Kilmurray National School. Georgia, can you spotlight?
Okay.
What's your aim for the EU for the next 10 years?
Well, I think I want to see an EU, Jack, that is stronger, that is, more resilient. The word resilient means, that can protect itself. And that is that we need to overcome all obstacles. I mentioned climate change as a big challenge. Migration for many countries is a very big challenge. Security, that we need to make sure that we have peace in Europe and that everybody's safe. Until a few, I guess, weeks ago or months ago, you had masks. Some of you had masks in your classrooms, or you had to be online, and stay at home for school. That was, we only managed to come out of it because the European Union reacted with measures that protected, with vaccines, all EU citizens, but also, Jack, I want to see an EU that continues to fight for human rights, for equality, that everybody is protected, that there is democracy. That means that you can't have a government that stays in power forever. You can't have a politician that says, you know what, I like this job, so I'm going to never leave. And I'm going to make sure that anybody who says that will lose his job. And that is not something that is acceptable in the European Union. And I want to see an EU and Europe that is even stronger at pushing back against those dangers in 10 years' time.
Lovely, thank you very much. And I'm going to take one last question, maybe, if you have time, President, which is question number 10 by Aaron Bookhude on behalf of Buxford National School.
I can't find question 10 here.
Yeah, we all have different numbers.
Oh, you all have different numbers. Oh, okay.
If they start speaking, I can spotlight them, but not like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for bothering you.
Hello, Goga.
Good morning. My name is
Greetings from Albania. Can we make a question, please?
I'm sorry. We have a number of people who submitted questions,
okay.
So I'm just going to go through the list. Do we have Destiny Skolvira?
There we
go.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is from County Mayo, Ireland. And this is my question.
Alaikum salam, Liverpool salam.
Oh, so, okay. Hold on, we have lost. Sorry, we've lost the president.
No, you haven't lost me. I'm here.
No, she's here. She's here.
Oh no, I couldn't see you.
And I'm trying to spotlight question 10, but I can't. Philip, if you can help me here.
I can't find it myself. There's 2 question 10s.
I can't see them. I can see them.
Please,
but I can't.
My question 10 is, will the EU ever disband? Is that the question you want to ask me?
No, what advice? So, Aaron?
What advice would you give us as a 10 to 12-year-old about living our best lives as a European citizen in our future lives?
Can you repeat that?
What advice would you give us as a 10 to 12-year-old about living our best lives as a European citizen in our future lives?
I love that question. Thanks. For me, if I look back, to when I was 10, I wanted to be a film director or, someone famous. I wanted to I love the sea, and I wanted to learn more about marine biology. I had so many dreams. And what I can say looking back is that my country, my friends, which are still the same, I still have the same friends as when I was 10, were the ones that we were never held back from doing what we wanted to do. So I think the best life could be that if you say, I want to do this, or I want to do that, then you do not find anyone to tell you, no, you can't. And that even 5 years' time, you decide to do something else, then you still won't find anyone who tells you, no, you can't. So I think that the best life of Europe, or the best thing about Europe, is that you can really be who you want to be. You can really do what you want to do, and that you will be protected and you will be safe, and that you can have any dream you want and you can achieve it. Just don't let anyone ever hold you back from achieving it.
And that's great. Thank you so much for joining us today. I think it's a lovely way to end maybe our conversation.